Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I'm back very soon. Today's video is in collaboration with Sunzel for their spring sale over on Amazon. So today I'm going to talk about a few pieces that they sent over, give my honest review and feedback of the items. And I also have a discount code for you. It's an extra 10% off on top of the sale price. And this code is an affiliate code, so I will get a small commission from each sale. No pressure at all, but if you do choose to support me, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's get into the review. So first up, we have these shorts here. Now, none of Sunzel's products have like names, I guess. It's kind of hard to tell each one apart just because they don't have like a specific collection name or anything like that. However, these are the shorts. They're very simple black short, 5-inch inseam. They have a contour design on the sides as well as on the front of the waistband. I got my normal size small, very soft brush material, very low compression, 5-inch inseam. Super easy to get on because they're low compression. The glute seam is very simple. It's not a hidden scrunch or anything like that. If you're in the market for like a very basic sort of black short, these are a decent option. Really squat proof, no issues with sheerness. I'm just going to stretch the fabric out just so you can see the level of thickness it is. You can't really see anything through. You really can't see much through the fabric here. It's really nice material. So I typically go for a 5-inch inseam just because I feel like it is a good length where it doesn't really roll up very much, but not too long where I have all this extra fabric and don't know what to do with it. I'm just going to pull up the product page. I just want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right information. So right now, this style only comes in black. I think this is one of their newer styles, so they'll probably bring out more colors down the line. It is available in size extra small through extra large. Again, since this is a new product, the size range isn't as extensive as maybe some of their other products, but I'm sure down the line they'll maybe add in some other sizes. Again, this is the only color that it comes in at the moment and the only inseam that it comes in at the moment. Sunzel is known for carrying multiple inseams, and I'll kind of get into that a little bit later because this is a new product. They may not have gotten to that just yet. Overall, these shorts are really nice. I will say because it's such low compression, it would be nice if the waist tapered in just a little bit. It is kind of boxy for me personally. I know there are some people who would like this fit, but for me personally, I would love it if it tapered in on the waist just a tiny bit, just to give you more of that snatch effect. I also think would really complement this design here that already has these seams on the waistband. That's just my one piece of feedback. I don't mind the fact that this doesn't have a scrunch. Sometimes I don't really want a scrunch on my shorts, especially I'm just like going out and about. Like sometimes you don't want to wear specific underwear just to like go and run out and do errands. So the fact this doesn't have a scrunch, I'm totally fine with that. Next up, we have their 5-inch pocket shorts in the color wine red. It's not really giving wine red in person. It's more like a brick red. Has a lot of orange in it. Here is the back. Again, there's no scrunch or anything, no hidden scrunch. It's just a very normal glute seam. And it is a pocket short, so it does have pockets. You will see that I'm able to fit my phone in there just fine. So these do fit very similarly to the last shorts that you just saw. It's the exact same inseam. In this color, I didn't get any sheerness. It is absolutely squat proof for me. I will say though, unlike the black pair of shorts, I do feel like these do slide up a little bit in a squat. Not a ton, but just like a little bit, maybe like at most a ½ inch you'll lose. I will say for the shorts, they are both very high-waisted to the point where I feel like if I were to wear these out, I would probably fold the waistband over. I do prefer how that looks a lot more. Now this style is one of their slightly older ones, so they do have a bunch of different colors. And these shorts also come in multiple inseams. So as short as a 3-inch inseam all the way up to 10 inches. And it also comes in size extra small through 2XL. And if you're someone who needs like a size extra small or 2XL, for example, a lot of times these brands may not have it in stock on their store, but they do claim they offer it. In those cases, I highly recommend you reach out to the brand directly and ask them to stock in whichever color you're looking for. Sunzel specifically is really receptive to feedback. So if there is a size or a color that you're looking for and you're not seeing it restock, reach out to them. And if they do get enough requests, they will more than likely produce it for you. I don't really have much more to add about these shorts, so now we're going to move on to the leggings. So for those of you who are watching who are like, where are the bottoms with the scrunch? This next one is for you. Next one we have is the Sunzfly Invisible Butt Scrunch workout leggings. And I got it in the color Seal Brown. It's almost like a coffee brown in person. It's a little bit more on the neutral side than it is warm, but you can see like this ruching in the back. And you can see the scrunch here has some elasticity to it. And here's what it looks like on the inside. Upon putting these on, just like the shorts, it doesn't really have a ton of compression. However, I will say these leggings have slightly more compression than the shorts in the legs, just enough to hold you in a little bit. The material is also brushed, but it's not that overly fuzzy material that'll pill really easily. I do think these would work well in the gym without having excessive pilling. Just like the shorts, the leggings do come in multiple inseams. You have a 21-inch, 23-inch, 25-inch, 28-inch, and a 31-inch inseam. I believe the ones I have here are 28 inches, which is preferably what I would get for a legging. I do like a 28-inch inseam. Now, I had some mixed opinions about these leggings. When I first tried them on, I was kind of like, meh. I didn't feel like the scrunch was doing much. But then I don't know what happened, but I put them in the wash, took them out. No, I put them in the wash, then put them in the dryer, which I don't normally do with my activewear. Don't recommend doing that. But I did put these in the dryer and they are absolutely fine. There's no damage to them. But yeah, so I washed them, put them in the dryer, and somehow I feel like they fit better now. I guess it kind of tightened the material a little bit and made it a little bit more compressive, which I prefer. And it just sits really nicely on me now. So I'm quite impressed. And I think I would reach for these a lot, like to run errands and just like to go out. So I'm curious to see what other colors they offer. Maybe I'll pick up some more. A lot of vertical and horizontal stretch, which is really nice. I didn't feel any restriction anywhere. Squatting down, I didn't find the fabric sheer. All of these fabrics will show cellulite. The fabric is not thick enough where it's going to hide that, but if you go for the darker colors, then you might have better luck. But yeah, I don't really have a ton of feedback for this particular style of leg, and I think they did a pretty decent job with it. I don't feel like the waistband is too high or anything like that. Um, yeah, so pretty decent job. All right, and now we have their mini flare leggings. Now, these have the dreaded front seam. I don't know why we're still doing front seams in 2025, but you know what? Some people like front seams. So if you're one of those people, this is for you. Now, these are their mini flares. I do believe they offer a no front seam version as well, which I didn't see the first time I was looking through. Otherwise, I would have picked those up, but it's okay. These do also come in multiple inseams. You have a 28-inch, 30-inch, 32-inch, and a 34-inch. Usually when I buy flares, I like to go for an inseam that is between 3 to 4 inches longer than my natural inseam. So my inseam is 30 inches, so I went with the 34-inch mini flare. Super, super long. I got it in, this is the ash blue color, which is kind of like a washed out navy. Beautiful color. Now, out of all the stuff that I've shown you, this is probably my least favorite item just because of this front seam. Like, I just cannot do a front seam. Also, these are like mega high-waisted to the point where I have to roll the waistband over, which I don't typically have to do with leggings. It's more something I do with shorts. But I did have to roll the waistband over just to feel comfortable in them. Dreaded front seam. It will absolutely give you a camel toe if you pull it too far up. The length, however, is really, really nice. I do recommend if you want the leggings to like just hover above the ground with sneakers on, then maybe go for at minimum 3 inches longer than your inseam. And I think that would be the perfect length. I don't know if you can see this, but like the distance from the top of the waistband to the end of the gusset, that is very, very long. If you have a really long torso, these are going to be great. I do not. I have a very short torso. So these are just like way too high waisted for me. So maybe having these in a high waisted option, a mid rise, and maybe even later down the line, a low rise if people are interested, that would be a really nice option. Now, the actual flare part of this is like a mini flare, or some people will call them like a boot cut legging. It's like a less dramatic flare. So if you want a flare, but like you're kind of like not sure if it's like too out there, this is a really good option. It's pretty slim throughout the leg, and just when it gets to about halfway down your shin, then it starts to flare out a little bit. So yeah, these are personally not my favorite just because of the front seam and the ultra high waist. However, I love the material that Sunzel uses. It is very durable. The fact that I was able to put some of these in the dryer and they withstood that heat, again, don't recommend doing that. But the fact that these went through that and they're fine and they look just as new as when I put them in there, I think that is amazing. The thing I'm going to talk about is my top pick item from Sunzel. Now, these are items that I purchased with my own money. I've had them for, I don't even know how long, maybe like a year or two at this point. They are their crossover flare leggings. I absolutely adore these. I have 3 colors here. Let me get the color names for you. I have black, of course, a staple. I have gray. And then just for fun, I have this color called Caramel Cafe, I think it's called, which is like a really nice rust orange color. These are my absolute favorite flares. And whenever anyone is looking for a flare, this is what I recommend they get. Not only is it affordable, but it is so flattering. It has a cross waist, as you can see there. Now, I have a short torso, like I mentioned a million times. I typically hate cross waist on me just because they usually come up way too high. They make me look really boxy. If they're too tight, they give me a muffin top. Not only did Sunzel make me fall in love with flares, but they made me fall in love with a cross waist. Like, this is so flattering on. It doesn't dig in at all. It's not tight, has a lot of stretch. Now, what separates this from the mini flare slash boot cut is that the flared part of the leggings comes out a lot more. It's way more exaggerated. So if you're looking for something that you can like dress up a little bit more, I think these are the way to go. Now, another difference to the mini flare that you may notice if you pick these up is that this material is way more slick. I wouldn't call this brushed at all. It is a more slick performance type of material. But you can see this is just like a softer brushed material. This is slick, has a little bit of sheen to it. Again, there's no butt scrunch, there's no invisible scrunch or anything. It's just a very normal glute seam in the back. However, regardless of that, I still find these extremely flattering. So if you're looking for something that is going to be flattering on your glutes without having a scrunch, these are an amazing option. Just like many of Sunzel's items, these do come in multiple inseams. Same as the mini flare, there is a 28-inch, a 30-inch, 32-inch, a 34-inch. I did go again with 34-inch for these. They are very long. I do feel even when I put shoes on, I still feel like these are a bit long and I probably should have gone for something a little bit shorter. Like if they had like a 33-inch, I think that would be perfect. But I still think I would rather go for the longer length than the shorter one just because I do not want to walk around with high waters. I cannot recommend these leggings enough. I love these so much and it absolutely made me fall in love with flares. Now, if you are in Sunzel's store and you're not sure which inseam to get, they do have a size chart as well as a reference to help you figure out which inseam would work best for you. I highly recommend getting a measuring tape if you don't have one, measuring the very inside of your leg, usually starting at your groin all the way down to your ankle or wherever you want the leggings to land, and that would be your natural inseam. Then from there, you can figure out which inseam to get in the leggings. Again, for me personally, the normal pair of leggings, I like a 28-inch inseam, which is 2 inches shorter than my natural inseam. And then with flares, I like them to be at least 3 inches longer than my inseam. And if they don't have that option, then I usually typically size up 1 inch. So for example, with Sunzel, I get a 34-inch inseam flare instead of going down to a 32-inch. Okay, so that is all I have today. Please let me know which item was your favorite and which item you're thinking of picking up from the spring sale. The spring sale ends on Monday, March 31st, so definitely check the sale out to see what you're interested in. And again, I do have a code if you wish to use it. It gives you an additional 10% off the sale price and also directly supports me. Thank you so much, Sunzel, for sponsoring this video. And thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one. Bye.